Here's the truth that nobody says out loud. Most women don't feel naturally seductive. Most women feel nervous, self-conscious, and unsure, especially when they like someone. And the more you care, the more you can feel your body tighten up, like you're being evaluated. Your mind starts racing. You start performing. You start trying to be the right version of yourself. If that's you, I'm not here to hype you up with empty lines. I'm here to give you relief, because the thing you think you need, the perfect body part, the perfect look, the perfect outfit, is not what makes a man feel pulled towards you, not the way you imagine. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you what the number one female body part is what attracts men the most. But first, let's clean up the pressure. Because if you hear the answer while you're still trapped in the old mindset, you'll miss the real power of it. Attraction is not a scoreboard. It's not a competition where you win because you have one feature and someone else doesn't. Attraction is a feeling, something that happens inside a nervous system. It's a shift, a spark, a moment where someone senses there's something about her. And the wild part is that something usually has less to do with your body shape and more to do with the signal you're sending without even realizing it. So if you've been carrying this quiet fear, maybe I'm not enough, I want you to put it down for the next few minutes. Because what you're about to learn isn't about changing yourself. It's about using what you already have in a way that makes you feel calmer, more grounded, and more powerful. Now let's talk about the twist. When people say the number one body part, they expect a specific physical feature, something obvious, something you can highlight in photos. But the real answer, the one men react to before they even understand they're reacting, is your eyes. Yes, your eyes. Not because they're perfect, not because they're a certain color, not because you have long lashes or a dramatic look. It's because your eyes are the part of your body that communicates presence. And presence is the thing that makes a man feel drawn in, even if you're doing absolutely nothing extra. Think about it. Before anyone hears your voice, before any flirting happens, the first bridge between two people is attention, and attention is felt through the eyes. Your eyes silently answer questions like, am I safe with her? Is she comfortable with herself? Is she interested or just being polite? Does she know what she wants? Is she choosing me or trying to get chosen? And here's what's so important. Men often don't describe this in the way women do. They may not say, her eye contact made me feel seen. They'll say something simpler. She has something. She's captivating. She's confident. I don't know. She just has a vibe. That vibe is not magic. It's a signal. And your eyes are the loudest signal you have. This is why you can see a woman who isn't wearing anything special, who doesn't fit some unrealistic internet standard, and yet people can't stop looking at her. It's not because she's trying, it's because she's present. She's not rushing to earn approval. She's not shrinking. She's not over-explaining herself. She's simply there, grounded, calm, aware. And that calm awareness reads as confidence. And confidence is attractive, but not the loud, showy kind, the kind that feels like self-trust. Here's the best part. This is trainable, even if you've spent years avoiding eye contact because it feels too intimate. You're not broken, you're sensitive. And sensitivity, when you learn to steady it, becomes magnetism. It's the difference between, I hope he likes me, and I'm curious if I like him. That tiny inner shift changes your entire energy. You stop scanning for approval and start noticing his tone, his patience, his respect. Attraction becomes something you participate in, not something that happens to you. And when you feel that difference inside your own chest, men feel it too. Because calm is contagious and presence is unmistakable. You don't need perfection, you need practice and a slower pace. Maybe you've had a moment like this. You walk into a place, a coffee shop, the grocery store, a friend's party, and you feel fine until you notice someone you're attracted to. Suddenly, your body goes on alert, your shoulders lift, your smile gets a little too big, your thoughts get loud. Do I look okay? Am I being weird? Should I look away? And then you do that thing so many women do. You glance, you feel caught, and you instantly retreat. Not because you're weak, but because you're trying to protect yourself from rejection or from feeling exposed. But that retreat often communicates the exact opposite of what you want. It can read like uncertainty, like you're not comfortable in your own skin. And men, whether they can explain it or not, notice comfort. They notice ease. They notice the woman who doesn't look like she's auditioning. That's why this isn't a beauty tip. It's a self-regulation tip. When your nervous system is calm, your eyes naturally soften. Your face relaxes. Your voice slows down. Your presence expands. And people feel it. So if you're thinking, okay, but what if I'm anxious? What if I'm awkward? What if I've never been good at flirting? Good, because that means you're about to learn something real. You don't need a new personality. You need a new pace. Now, I want to go a layer deeper, because this is where it becomes personal power instead of just a fun fact. Men are wired to respond to cues that feel like warmth plus selectiveness. Warmth alone can feel friendly. Selectiveness alone can feel cold. But when a woman is warm and selective, when she seems kind but not desperate, it triggers something very specific: curiosity. Because now he's thinking, she's not trying to impress everyone. She's paying attention on purpose. That makes him lean in. Your eyes communicate this faster than words, a calm glance that lasts one beat longer than polite, a soft look that says, I'm here, I'm listening, without begging for anything. That is the difference between being nice and being magnetic. And don't worry, this is not about staring people down. It's not about playing games. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about learning the difference between nervous energy and grounded energy, and letting your eyes speak for you in a way that feels natural. Because if you've ever felt like men only notice one type of woman, consider this. Men notice the woman who makes them feel something. And one of the strongest feelings you can create is this simple, rare experience: being truly seen. There are three feelings that pull men in deeply. He feels seen, he feels wanted, and he feels slightly challenged, in a healthy way, like he has to earn access to you, not because you're distant, but because you value yourself. Your eyes can trigger all three. Seen, when your gaze is present, not scattered. Wanted, when your attention is intentional, not accidental. Challenged, when you don't overgive your attention to everyone, but you can offer it warmly when it's earned. This is why the "not what you think" answer is so powerful. You don't have to wait until you lose weight, change your hair, or become someone else. You can start with how you carry your attention. You can start with presence. And here's a little secret most women never get told. The moment you stop trying to be attractive and start being present, you become more attractive. Because presence is relaxing. It's confident. It's feminine without being performative. It feels like emotional safety. So in this video, we're not going to talk about your flaws. We're going to talk about your signal. We're going to talk about the tiny choices that turn nervousness into calm magnetism, and how to do it in a way that doesn't feel fake. Next, I'm going to explain why attraction is nervous system level, why looks are not the whole story, and why your eyes act like a shortcut to chemistry. And once you understand that, you'll never see yourself the same way again. Attraction isn't visual, it's nervous system level. If you've ever felt confused by the way men seem to choose someone, this will make it make sense. Because attraction isn't a spreadsheet. It's not a list of features that adds up to a yes or no. It's a body response, a nervous system reaction. And when you understand that, you stop trying to look right and start learning how to feel right in your own skin, because that feeling is what people respond to. Here's the part most women don't realize. A man can notice beauty and still not feel pulled in. And he can feel pulled in even when the woman isn't his usual type. That's because visual appeal is the appetizer. Chemistry is the main meal. And chemistry is created through signals, tiny cues that tell his nervous system, this feels good, this feels safe, this feels alive. So let's talk about why looks don't win long term, even when they get attention in the beginning. When we say men are visual, we often translate that into pressure, like you have to stay perfect or you'll be replaced. But visual interest is only one layer. It's quick, it's surface level, it's the first glance. What keeps someone leaning in is how you make them feel while they're near you, how their body settles or tightens around you. Think about it. You've met people who are attractive on paper, but being around them feels tense. They talk fast, they overperform, they make everything a test, or they feel emotionally unsafe. Your body knows before your mind can explain. That's nervous system level. Attraction is similar. A man might like what he sees, but if he senses nervousness, chaos, coldness, or desperation, his body doesn't relax. He may still pursue ego or curiosity, but the pull won't deepen. Deep attraction happens when his nervous system gets two messages at once. I'm excited and I'm safe. That's why so many women feel exhausted trying to keep a man with looks. Because looks can get you noticed, but they can't create emotional safety, groundedness, or that special feeling of calm tension, the kind that makes him want to stay in the moment with you. This is where your power becomes real. You can't control his preferences, but you can influence the emotional experience of being with you. And that experience is what becomes unforgettable. Now let's connect this to the body part we talked about, your eyes, and why they work like a shortcut. Your eyes are not just something men look at. Your eyes are something men feel. Eye contact is one of the fastest ways two nervous systems sync. It tells him whether you're present, whether you're comfortable, whether you're open, and whether you're grounded. And the reason this matters is simple. A man wants to feel like he's not being managed, not being performed for, not being chased. He wants to feel a clean, steady connection. Eye contact creates that connection instantly when it's soft and intentional. Let me explain what that signal actually communicates. When your eyes are calm, you unconsciously relax the muscles in your face. Your voice usually slows down, your breathing deepens, your whole energy says, I'm here. And that gives him permission to relax too. It's subtle, but your nervous system is always teaching other people how to treat you. If you treat yourself like you're under inspection, he'll feel like he's inspecting you. If you treat yourself like you belong, he'll feel like you belong. This is why the most magnetic women don't look like they're asking for permission. Their eyes don't dart. They don't apologize. They don't rush. They don't try to earn the moment. They simply enter it. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what does calm eye contact actually do in his mind? Here's the psychology in plain English. It triggers three feelings men chase, often without naming them. The first is being seen, not just looked at, seen. When your gaze is present, he feels recognized. Most people move through life feeling invisible. A steady, warm gaze tells him, I notice you, and that wakes something up. The second is being wanted. Again, not in a desperate way, in a selective way. When your eye contact feels intentional, like you chose to give him your attention, his body reads it as value. It's the difference between attention that's thrown around and attention that feels earned. The third is being slightly challenged. And this is the one that surprises women. Men are pulled toward what has a little bit of mystery and self-respect. When your eyes say, I'm warm, but I'm not trying to impress you, it creates a healthy tension. He has to lean in. He has to show up. He has to earn more access to you. Seen, wanted, challenged. Your eyes can communicate all three in a single moment, without a single flirty line, without any performance, without you becoming someone else. Now, let's make this feel real, not theoretical. Imagine two versions of the same interaction. Version 1, you're interested, but you're anxious. You glance, then look away fast. You oversmile to cover nerves. You talk a little too much. Your energy is, please like me. He may still be polite, even interested, but his nervous system feels the pressure of the moment. Version 2. You're interested, but you're grounded. Your eyes land softly. You hold for one calm beat. Your face stays relaxed. You don't rush to fill the silence. Your energy is, I'm here and I'm curious. His nervous system experiences space, and space is where desire grows. This is why attraction isn't just visual. It's the emotional atmosphere you create. It's what your presence does to his body. Does he feel tense or does he feel pulled closer? And here's the thing, you don't need to be perfect to create that atmosphere. You just need to slow down enough to be present. Your nervous system doesn't care if your hair is flawless. It cares whether you feel safe inside yourself. So if you've been chasing confidence like it's a personality trait, I want you to hear this. Confidence is often just nervous system regulation. It's your ability to stay with yourself when you're being seen. It's your ability to breathe, soften, and hold steady. That's why the eyes matter so much. They show your inner state. They reveal whether you're relaxed or performing. And when you learn to calm your inner state, your eyes become naturally magnetic because they're not asking, they're offering. Next, we're going to talk about the number one mistake women make with eye contact, how trying to be nice or safe can accidentally drain the attraction and the simple shift that changes everything. Before we move on, let's also clear up one more myth that silently hurts women, the idea that you have to compete with other women to be chosen. Competition keeps your nervous system in fight or flight. It makes you scan rooms, compare bodies, and brace for rejection. And when you're braced, you can't be present. That's why comparison is the biggest thief of magnetism. Not because it's bad, but because it pulls you out of your body and into your head. Men can feel that. They may not call it by that name, but they feel when a woman is auditioning versus arriving. Auditioning energy says, tell me I'm enough. Arriving energy says, I'm here and I'm open and I'm paying attention on purpose. One feels like pressure, the other feels like an invitation. This is also why the right kind of attraction doesn't feel chaotic. If a connection constantly makes you anxious, hyper-focused, or emotionally dizzy, that's not always chemistry. It can be insecurity plus uncertainty. Real chemistry has excitement, yes, but it also has steadiness. Your body feels more grounded, not less. You feel more like yourself, not like you're disappearing, and your eyes can actually be your anchor in that. When you practice soft eye contact, you're not just sending a signal to him, you're training your own nervous system to stay calm while you're being seen. It's a form of self-trust. You're telling yourself, I can handle attention. I can stay present. I don't have to run. Here's a tiny exercise you can do that no one will notice. When you're talking to someone, gently relax your forehead and jaw. Let your breath drop lower into your chest. Then choose one eye to look at for a second, then the other, then back. Not like a robot, like you're actually listening. This helps you stay grounded and stops your gaze from darting. When you do this, something else changes too. You stop trying to control the outcome. You're not gripping the moment. You're letting it unfold. And that's the energy that makes people lean in, because it feels real, not forced. So keep this big idea in mind as we continue. Attraction is less about having something and more about transmitting something. Your eyes transmit your inner state. When your inner state is calm, warm, and self-respecting, you become hard to forget, even before anything physical happens. One more calming reminder, you don't have to hold eye contact perfectly for this to work. Even small moments of steady presence matter. Attraction isn't built in one dramatic stare, it's built in the rhythm of connection. Look, soften, listen, return. That rhythm tells his nervous system, this is easy, this is natural, and the easier it feels, the more he wants it again. That's why mastering this isn't about being bold, it's about being relaxed. And relaxed is powerful because it makes you feel like the kind of woman he can't replace with a swipe. Because you're not a picture, you're an experience. And once you become an experience, he doesn't just notice you, he remembers you even after the conversation ends tonight. The number one mistake women make with eye contact. Most women don't lose attraction because they aren't pretty enough. They lose it because they accidentally send the wrong signal when they're nervous, usually without realizing it. And the tricky part is the wrong signal often looks like the right thing. It looks polite, it looks friendly, it looks safe, but it quietly drains the tension that creates desire. So let's talk about the number one mistake: overperforming. Overperforming can sound like a harsh phrase, so let me say it gently. Overperforming is what happens when your body is trying to manage the moment, when you're trying to be liked, when you're trying to make sure he's comfortable, when you're trying to prove you're fun, sweet, easygoing, low maintenance, anything that might keep you from being rejected. And it's not your fault. Women are trained to do this. We're taught that being desirable means being agreeable, that being good means being accommodating, that if you're warm enough, kind enough, easy enough, you'll be chosen. But here's the problem. Attraction doesn't come from you being easy to approve. Attraction comes from you being real and grounded. When you overperform, your nervous system starts broadcasting a subtle message. Please accept me. And even if your words are confident, your energy feels like effort. Men can feel effort. And here's why. Effort has a leaning forward energy. It's you trying to pull the moment toward a result. It can sound like asking questions too quickly, stacking compliments, or making jokes to keep the mood up. Even silence can feel scary, so you rush to fill it. But chemistry needs a little space to breathe. Space is where he starts to wonder about you, not just consume you. If you've ever left a date thinking, I talk too much, or I hope I didn't seem desperate, that's usually overperforming. And the painful part is you were probably just trying to be warm. You were trying to create comfort. The fix isn't to become cold. The fix is to slow down enough to let warmth land without chasing approval. Not because they're analyzing you, but because effort changes the atmosphere. It makes the moment feel less spontaneous and more managed. It can make a man feel like he's being entertained rather than connected to. And that is the fastest way to shift a romantic vibe into a friendly vibe. Let's break down what overperforming often looks like in real life. It can look like over-smiling. Not a natural smile, an anxious smile that stays on your face even when nothing is funny. It can look like laughing a little too quickly to fill silence. It can look like rushing to respond so there's never a pause. It can look like explaining yourself too much, adding extra details so you don't seem weird. It can look like complimenting him too early or too often, hoping it creates closeness. And the most common version? It's in your eyes. Overperforming in your eyes looks like this. You make eye contact, then you panic, then you break it too fast, then you compensate by smiling bigger, talking more, or looking down like you're trying to disappear. Again, this is normal. This is what the nervous system does when it feels exposed. But it's also the exact moment where attraction either grows or collapses. Because when you break eye contact too quickly, you're telling his nervous system, I can't hold this moment. And what that can read as is uncertainty, discomfort, or insecurity. Not always, but often enough that it matters. Now, I want you to hear this clearly. You do not need to stare. You do not need to act confident. You do not need to play games. You only need to stop abandoning yourself for the moment. That's the real mistake, abandoning yourself. When you abandon yourself, you rush, you perform, you over-explain, you trade presence for protection. And protection kills tension. So let's talk about the second most common pattern inside this mistake: looking away too fast. If you're someone who avoids eye contact, you might think you're being respectful or modest. But the body doesn't interpret it as modesty. The body interprets it as nervousness. Here's how it usually happens. You look at him, you notice he's looking back. You feel that tiny jolt in your chest, like you've been seen. And instead of letting your body settle, you snap out of it. You look away. You pretend you weren't looking. You check your phone. You adjust your hair. You do something, anything, to escape the feeling. And the reason you do it is simple. Eye contact is intimate. It can feel like a doorway. It can feel like a spotlight. If you've been rejected, criticized, cheated on, or made to feel too much, your system may protect you by shutting the doorway fast. So when you look away too quickly, you're not failing. You're protecting. But here's what's important. Protection and connection use different body languages. Protection makes you small. Connection makes you steady. And attraction lives in steadiness. When you look away too fast, you remove the tiny moment of tension that makes him wonder, is she interested? You remove the space where he feels chosen. You remove the pause where chemistry forms. Instead, the moment becomes unclear. And when a moment is unclear, most men either retreat or chase for ego, not for connection. This is also where a lot of women get stuck in a painful cycle. They like him, they avoid eye contact, he assumes she's not interested, he pulls back, and she thinks, see, I'm not attractive. But it wasn't attractive, it was a signal, and signals are editable. Try this the next time you notice the look away reflex. Instead of breaking contact instantly, let your eyes soften and drop your gaze just slightly, like you're pausing, not fleeing. Then bring your eyes back up when you're ready. This tiny move tells your body, I'm safe, and it tells him, I'm present. It turns a panic reaction into a calm choice, and calm choice is what reads as confidence. The goal isn't to force yourself into uncomfortable intensity. The goal is to give your nervous system a softer option than panic. That's why we're going to fix this with something that feels gentle. Soft eyes. Soft eyes are not a technique. They're a state. It's the difference between I'm being watched and I'm here. Soft eyes feel warm, relaxed, and present. They're what your face does when you're listening to a friend and you genuinely care. There's no strain, no performance, just attention. Here's how to create soft eyes in a way that doesn't feel fake. First, relax the muscles around your eyes. Most nervousness shows up in the brow, lifted, tight, slightly tense. So soften your brow. Let your forehead smooth. Then relax your jaw, because your jaw and your eyes are connected. If your jaw is clenched, your gaze will feel sharp. Next, shift your focus from how do I look to what do I notice. That one question changes everything. Instead of scanning his face for approval, notice his tone, his energy, his calmness, his respect. This puts you back in your power because now you're observing instead of auditioning. Now for the part that changes the signal, add a micro pause. When you make eye contact, allow one extra beat before you look away. Not 5 seconds, not a stare down, one extra beat. That beat is the difference between anxious and confident. It tells his nervous system, I can stay present. Then look away naturally, like you're comfortable, not like you're escaping. And when you return your gaze, return it softly, not sharply. This creates a rhythm. Connect, soften, release, return. That rhythm feels feminine, calm, and emotionally steady. It's like you're saying, I'm here, and I'm not in a rush. A quick note, because I know some of you worry about being too much. Soft eyes are not aggressive. They're not seductive in a loud way. They're inviting. They feel like emotional safety. They feel like you're listening with your whole face, and men respond to that because it makes them feel seen without being pressured. Also, soft eyes protect you. They keep you warm without giving away your center. You're not pleading, you're not chasing, you're simply present. If you want a simple mental cue, use this. Warm and steady. Warm means kindness in your gaze. Steady means you don't run. Warm and steady creates that rare feeling men don't forget. A woman who is comfortable with herself. And yes, it will feel a little unfamiliar at first. That's normal. You're rewiring a habit, not fixing a flaw. The first time you hold that extra beat, you might feel your heart jump. Let it. Breathe through it. Your body learns quickly when you don't punish it for being human, and soon the steadiness starts to feel like you. After that, the panic fades and the connection feels surprisingly easy again. And once you're comfortable with yourself, you stop doing the one thing that kills attraction. You stop trying to force it. One more thing, you don't have to do this with every man. This isn't about broadcasting availability, it's about owning your attention. Give eye contact when you want to connect, and withhold it when you don't. That selectiveness is part of the attraction because it shows you're not handing yourself out for free. You're choosing. So if you remember only one line, let it be this: stop performing, stop fleeing, and start settling. Your eyes will do the rest. Next, I'm going to give you 5 specific eye signals, simple, classy, and natural, that make you feel instantly more magnetic in everyday moments, whether you're on a date, at work, or just living your life. The 5 eye signals that make you instantly more attractive. Signal number 1, the calm first look. There's a moment that happens before anything romantic even begins. It's that first glance, not the dramatic movie kind, the everyday kind. You walk into a room, you're standing in line, you're talking to someone new. Your eyes meet him for a second and your body decides what to do next. Most women, when they're interested, either rush the moment or avoid it. They glance and retreat, or they lock in and then worry they're doing too much. The calm first look is the middle path, and it's powerful because it sets the tone. I'm comfortable being seen. Here's what it is. You let your gaze land naturally, you hold it for one quiet beat, and you keep your face relaxed. No big smile to cover nerves, no dramatic expression, just a calm, present look that says, "Hi, I'm here." That's it. This is not flirting with your eyes. This is presence. And men notice presence because it's rare. Most people are distracted. Most people are halfway somewhere else. So when your eyes say, "I'm actually here with you," it makes him feel something immediately, before he can talk himself out of it. A calm first look also communicates self-respect. It says you're not scrambling for approval. You're not doing that anxious scanning thing where you check if he likes you. You're simply acknowledging the moment. If you want to make it even easier, use a simple inner cue: slow. That one word changes your whole rhythm. You don't need to be bold. You just need to be unrushed. Because rushing is what reads as nervousness, and calm is what reads as confidence. And if you're thinking, but what if I don't feel confident? Good. The calm first look is how you start building it. Confidence often comes after the behavior, not before it. You do the calm first look, you survive it, and your nervous system learns, I can be seen and I'm still safe. A quick note that makes this even easier. The calm first look is not about locking eyes from across a room like you're in a music video. It's about meeting reality. If he looks at you, you don't pretend you didn't notice. You acknowledge the moment with steadiness. That steadiness alone makes you feel more attractive because you're not hiding. Try it in low-stakes places first. The barista, the receptionist, a neighbor. Hold that first look for one beat longer than you normally would, then look away gently. Your body will learn that eye contact doesn't equal danger. When you can do it with strangers, doing it with someone you're attracted to stops feeling like jumping off a cliff. And if you're in a setting where you feel watched, like a party where you're a little insecure, use a grounding trick. Feel your feet. Seriously, feel your toes in your shoes. When your body is grounded, your gaze steadies automatically. Presence is physical. Now don't confuse calm with blank. Calm doesn't mean emotionless. Calm means unrushed. You can still be playful, you can still be feminine, you can still be shy. The calm first look just removes the please approve me energy that makes you feel small. Signal number 2, the choose. Look, selective interest. This one is subtle, and it's the difference between being liked and being chased. A lot of women give eye contact the way they give kindness, generously automatically to everyone. And kindness is beautiful, but attraction isn't built on generosity alone. Attraction grows when attention feels intentional. The choose look is when your eyes communicate, I'm not handing this out to the whole room. I'm choosing where my attention goes. It's not cold. It's not rude. It's simply selective. Here's what it looks like in real life. You're in a conversation, and you let your eyes rest on him when he's speaking, fully. You don't keep checking your phone. You don't keep scanning around. You don't look past him to see who else is watching. You're giving him a clean moment of attention. And then you release it naturally. You look away to take a sip of your drink, to think, to breathe, to reset, and then you return. That rhythm is what makes it feel chosen. When attention is constant, it becomes background. When attention is selective, it becomes meaningful. Men can feel the difference. A man can sense when a woman is giving him attention because she's polite, and he can sense when she's giving him attention because she's genuinely interested and still in control of herself. This is why the choose look creates tension without effort. You're not chasing, you're not proving, you're not auditioning. You're giving him a moment and then taking your attention back. It makes him lean forward internally. He starts wondering, does she like me? Is she curious? Is she choosing me right now? And that curiosity is an attraction. If you want a simple practice, the next time you're talking to a man you like, decide that your attention is valuable, not in an arrogant way, in a self-respecting way. Let your eyes say, I'm here and I'm giving you my focus on purpose. Then let your body relax enough to take a natural pause. That pause is the difference between eager and magnetic. With the chosen look, the biggest shift is internal. You're not trying to make him want you. You're noticing whether you want him. That mindset changes your eyes instantly. When you're choosing, you stop staring like you're hungry. You start looking like you're curious, and curiosity is attractive because it feels like confidence without ego. Here's a simple example. Imagine he's talking and you're genuinely interested. You hold eye contact, you listen, and when he finishes a sentence, you don't rush to fill the space. You let a small pause happen, not awkward, just natural. Then you respond. That pause communicates, I'm not performing, I'm present. It also makes him feel like his words mattered. Selective interest also means you don't rescue the conversation when he's not showing up. If he's distracted, rude, or low effort, you don't keep pouring your attention into him hoping he changes. You let your eyes move away. You disengage politely. That's not playing hard to get. That's self-respect. And self-respect is the kind of attraction that protects you. Signal number 3, the smile that starts in your eyes. A lot of women have been told, just smile more. And I know how that feels. It can sound like you're being asked to perform happiness for someone else's comfort. So let's make this feminine and real. The smile that attracts isn't a wide grin. It's warm. And the most believable warmth starts in your eyes. An eye smile is when your gaze softens, your cheeks lift slightly, and your face stays relaxed. It looks like you're enjoying the moment, not trying to sell yourself. It's quiet. It's intimate. It feels like emotional safety. Men respond to this because it tells them two things at once. I'm friendly and I'm comfortable. That combination is powerful. Friendship alone can feel like everyone's friend. Comfortable alone can feel distant, but friendly plus comfortable feels like an invitation into a private space. Here's how to do it without thinking too hard. Before you smile, breathe out. A small exhale relaxes your face instantly. Then think of a feeling, not a look. Think, this is easy, or this is pleasant. When your body feels that, your eyes soften naturally. The smile becomes a byproduct, not a mask. And if you're not in a happy mood, don't fake it. The goal isn't to be cheerful. The goal is to be warm. Warm weather can be calm. Warm weather can be gentle. Warm weather can be steady. A great moment to use the eye smile is right after he says something honest or slightly vulnerable, even if it's small. Maybe he admits he's tired, or he shares a detail about his day, or he makes a self-deprecating joke. When you respond with an eye smile, you're telling him, I see you, and it's safe to be you. That builds emotional attraction fast. This also protects you from overperforming because you're not smiling constantly. You're letting warmth appear when it's real. That makes you feel more confident, and it makes him feel more drawn in because it doesn't feel like you're trying. Now the eye smile. Think of it as warmth with boundaries. A big, constant smile can sometimes read as nervousness or as someone who's trying to be liked. The eye smile reads as calm warmth. It says, I'm comfortable. And comfort is seductive because it makes the whole interaction feel easy. If you're wondering what too much looks like, it's usually when your smile arrives before the moment does. When you smile at nothing just to soften the air. The eye smile arrives after something real, after a shared moment, a joke, a small connection. That timing is what makes it feel intimate instead of performative. A tiny technique that helps: let your lips stay neutral while your eyes warm first, then let the smile spread. This is why people say someone's smile looks genuine, because it unfolds, it doesn't pop on like a mask. Signal number 4, the micropause before you look away. This is the tiny move that changes everything. Remember how we talked about the nervous look and run reflex? The micropause is the antidote. It's one extra beat of connection before you release. Not a stare, not a challenge, just a calm beat. Why does this matter so much? Because it communicates steadiness. It tells his nervous system, I can hold this moment. And steadiness is what creates that quiet tension men crave. Here's the simplest way to practice it. When your eyes meet his, silently count 1 in your head before you look away. That's it, 1. That one beat is long enough to register as intentional, but short enough to stay natural. It's the difference between a glance that feels accidental and a glance that feels chosen. And here's the even better part. The micropause doesn't just affect him, it affects you. It trains your body to stop panicking when you're seen. It trains you to stay with yourself. If you've ever felt that rush of heat in your face when someone looks at you, you know what I mean. Your system goes, oh no. The micropause teaches your system, actually, I'm okay. And the more your body believes you're okay, the more your eyes become naturally magnetic. A powerful way to use this is during conversation. When he says something and you want to respond, instead of jumping in immediately, hold his gaze for a micropause first, then speak. That creates a feeling of depth. It makes your words land. It makes him feel like you're not just reacting, you're choosing. And if you're worried about awkwardness, remember, humans love rhythm. We feel safe in rhythm. The micropause creates rhythm. It slows down the interaction just enough to let desire breathe. The micropause is where you start to feel powerful. Power doesn't mean control, it means you're not being dragged around by nerves. When you can hold a moment for one extra beat, you're telling your body, I'm not running. That's self-trust. Use the micropause when he compliments you. Most women rush to dismiss compliments because they feel exposed. They laugh it off, they argue, they change the subject. Instead, micropause. Receive it. Let your eyes stay connected for one beat. Then say, thank you. That single beat turns a compliment into chemistry because it creates intimacy without words. Also use it when you're flirting verbally. If you say something playful, don't immediately rescue the moment with more talking. Say it, micropause, then let him respond. That pause creates space for him to lean in and match your energy. If you fill the space, you steal his chance to pursue. Signal number 5, the I see you. Look, presence. This is the deepest signal, and it's the one men remember. The I see you look isn't about flirting, it's about presence. The kind that makes someone feel like the room got quieter for a second. It's the look you give when you're fully listening, fully there, and not trying to impress. Most people listen while thinking about what they'll say next. They listen while checking their phone. They listen while scanning for what's cool. So when you give someone true presence, it feels like a drink of water. Men don't get this as often as you'd think. Many men feel like they're either being judged or being used for attention. The I see you look communicates something different. I'm with you. I'm not rushing. I'm not performing. I'm actually here. What does it look like? Your gaze is soft. Your face is calm. Your body is still. You're not over nodding. You're not over smiling. You're just holding space. And when he speaks, your eyes stay connected in a way that feels respectful, not intense. This is where attraction turns into intimacy, still safe, still classy, but undeniably powerful. Because the I see you look makes him feel recognized beyond his surface. It makes him feel like he doesn't have to posture. And ironically, that's when men become the most drawn in, when they feel they can be themselves around you. The right man. Filter. This also protects you now. Let's talk about something that matters just as much as being attractive, being safe. Because the goal isn't to attract men in general. The goal is to attract the kind of man who treats you well, and to repel the kind of man who drains you. And the same presence that makes you magnetic also protects you. When you use your eyes and your attention intentionally, you stop broadcasting, please choose me. You start broadcasting, I'm paying attention. That one shift changes the type of men who approach you. Emotionally steady men like it because it feels grounded and feminine without games. Emotionally unsafe men often don't, because they prefer women who are easy to manipulate with attention and uncertainty. Here's what this filter looks like in real life. A healthy man will respond to your steadiness with steadiness. If you hold a micropause, he'll see it. If you take your attention back, he won't punish you. If you go slow, he won't rush you. He'll stay consistent because he doesn't need to win you through pressure. He's comfortable earning trust. An unhealthy man will often do the opposite. If you don't overgive, he may try to provoke you. He may test your boundaries, make little comments, push for faster closeness, or create uncertainty to pull your attention. If you've ever felt like you were suddenly obsessing over a man you barely knew, that's often not chemistry. It's your nervous system reacting to unpredictability. Your presence helps you spot that early, because when you're calm, you can feel the difference between excitement and anxiety. Excitement feels open and bright. Anxiety feels tight and urgent. When you keep your gaze steady and your pace slow, you give yourself time to notice which one it is. This is also why body hacks are dangerous. They can get your attention from everyone, including men who shouldn't have access to you. But presence and standards narrow the field. They don't just make you attractive, they make you selective. And selectiveness is what keeps you from repeating old patterns. So use this as your protective rule. If a man becomes sweeter when you slow down, he's likely safe. If he becomes colder, pushier, or inconsistent when you slow down, he's showing you who he is. You don't need to argue. You don't need to explain. You simply keep your attention valuable and give yourself permission to treat early dating like data, not destiny. You're not trying to lock him in. You're watching how he handles patience, how he handles boundaries, how he handles your calm. The right man will find your steadiness attractive. The wrong man will call it boring because he feeds on chaos. One last filter. Watch what he does after a good moment. A secure man follows up with clarity. He texts with consistency. He makes a plan. He doesn't disappear to make you chase. And you can meet that with the same energy, warm, steady, not frantic. Your attention becomes a reward for consistency, not a prize he gets for intensity. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Chemistry should feel like expansion, not confusion. Your calm is your compass. Trust it, and you won't betray yourself. The most powerful part? When you become an experience instead of an image, you stop being a target for shallow men. You become a mirror. The right men lean in, the wrong men bounce off. And that is the kind of power that doesn't just attract love, it preserves you. The soft challenge, make it real this week. If you've made it this far, you already know this isn't about becoming better or prettier. It's about becoming steadier. And steadiness is something you build through tiny, repeatable moments, not through pressure, not through perfection, and definitely not through forcing yourself into a version of confidence that doesn't feel like you. So here's what we're going to do. A soft challenge, not a harsh push yourself challenge. A gentle, realistic one that fits into your life and trains your nervous system to stay calm while you're being seen. Because the fastest way to turn an insight into confidence is to practice it in real life, in small doses, until your body stops treating attention like danger. The 3-day practice, no pressure, no awkwardness. Day 1, practice with strangers you'll never see again. This day is about lowering the stakes. Choose 3 small moments where you make brief, soft eye contact with someone safe in everyday life. The barista, the cashier, the security guard, the neighbor. 1 beat of calm contact, then a gentle look away. That's it. You're not trying to be flirty. You're training your body to stay present. Before you do it, set your body up to succeed. Feel your feet. Let your shoulders drop. Exhale once, then let your gaze land softly for 1 calm beat. If you feel a jolt in your chest, don't judge it. Just breathe and remind yourself, this is safe. After the moment, notice the result. Most of the time, nothing dramatic happens, and that's the point. Your nervous system learns, I can be seen and survive. Day 2. Practice with someone you already know. Pick 1 conversation today, coworker, friend, family member, where you listen with presence. Put your phone out of reach. Give the I see you look for a few seconds while they talk. Add 1 micropause before you respond. Don't rush to fill the silence. Let your words come from calm instead of speed. Your goal is not to stare. Your goal is to stay. If your eyes want to dart away, let them, then return softly. That return is the practice, and if you catch yourself over-smiling, relax your jaw and soften your brow. Warm and steady. That's the feeling you're building. Day 3. Practice with a man you're attracted to, or with your partner. If you're dating, pick one interaction where you use the calm first look and the micro pause. If you're in a relationship, do it during a normal moment, not a sexy moment. When he speaks, look at him with soft eyes, hold one extra beat before you answer, then respond slowly. Notice how the energy shifts. And if you're not around anyone you're attracted to right now, that's fine. Practice in the mirror for 60 seconds. Not to critique yourself, but to build tolerance for being seen. Look at your own eyes with softness. Exhale and repeat. I belong here. It sounds simple, but it retrains your body. Before you start, pick one simple anchor phrase you'll use all 3 days. Something you can say silently that brings you back into your body. Examples: slow is strong, warm and steady, I'm safe right now. The phrase isn't magic, it just gives your mind a place to land so your body can settle. Also, don't underestimate micro wins. If you only do one moment today, that still counts. You're building a new default, and new defaults are built with consistency, not intensity. Day 1 bonus. After each quick eye contact moment, give yourself a tiny internal reward. Literally think, good. That sounds childish, but your brain learns through reinforcement. You're teaching it that being seen is not punishment. Day 2. Bonus. Practice listening with your whole face. Instead of nodding constantly, let your expression be calm and interesting. When they finish a thought, pause for half a second, then respond. That half second often makes people feel deeply heard, and it makes you feel more confident because you're not scrambling. Day 3. Bonus. If you're on a date, try one playful moment of returning eye contact after you look away. For example, you look away to sip your drink, then you return with an eye smile and say something simple like, "That's actually interesting," or "Tell me more." It's subtle, but it creates a rhythm that feels intimate without being intense. And if you're in a relationship, try a reconnection look during a normal moment. When he comes home, when you're cooking, when you're about to talk about plans. 2 calm seconds of soft eyes before words. That tiny ritual can bring warmth back fast because it reminds both of you we're on the same side. One more thing about panic. Sometimes the anxiety isn't about him. It's about the old story in your head. I'm not enough. I'm too much. I'll be rejected. When that story shows up, treat it like background noise, not a command. You don't have to fight it. You just return to your breath and your eyes. Over time, the story gets quieter because your body has new evidence. If you ever feel embarrassed after a moment, maybe you looked away quickly or you stumbled, do not punish yourself. Punishment teaches your nervous system that connection equals danger. Instead, do a repair in your own body. Inhale, exhale, soften your brow, and say, "Still okay." That gentle self-repair is what makes confidence permanent. Finally, remember, the goal is not to hold eye contact longer, it's to hold yourself. Even one steady beat is enough to change the signal, and if you're practicing this because you want love, let it start with you. Choose yourself in the moment, choose your pace, choose your standards. When you do that, attraction stops feeling like a test and starts feeling like a connection you're allowed to enjoy. You don't need more beauty, you need permission to be seen. What to do when you panic. Mid-moment. Let's be honest, there will be moments where you try this and your body goes, nope. Your heart jumps, your face gets hot, your thoughts spiral. You suddenly forget what you were saying. That doesn't mean you failed. That means you're human and your nervous system is doing its old job, protecting you. Here's the rescue plan, and it's quick. First, exhale. A slow exhale tells your body you're not in danger. You can do it silently, through your nose, without anyone noticing. Second, soften your eyebrows. Most panic shows up in the forehead. When you soften your brow, your gaze becomes warmer automatically. Third, unclench your jaw and loosen your tongue. This sounds random, but it works. Tension in the jaw creates tension in the eyes and voice. When your mouth relaxes, your whole face looks calmer. Fourth, give yourself a safe target. If direct eye contact feels too intense in that second, look at the bridge of his nose or one eyebrow for a beat, Then return to one eye when you feel steady. No one can tell, but your body feels less exposed. Fifth, return with one calm beat. The return is the win, not the perfect hold. Coming back, warm and steady, is what builds confidence. And if you need to break contact, break it like it's a choice, not a flight. Look away gently, take a sip, nod, smile with your eyes, and come back when you're ready. You're not being tested. You're practicing. The real body part is the part that leads. So let's end where we began, because now you'll hear it differently. The number one body part that attracts men isn't something you need to change. It isn't a measurement. It isn't youth. It isn't perfect. It's your eyes, because your eyes are the doorway to your presence. And presence is the part of you that leads. When you lead with presence, you stop begging to be chosen. You start choosing. You stop performing. You start connecting. You stop shrinking. You start arriving. And here's the real secret. The goal isn't to make men crave you. The goal is to make you feel calm and powerful in your own skin. Because from that place, the right kind of attention finds you, and the wrong kind can't hold you. So this week, try the soft challenge. Do the 3 days. Keep it gentle, keep it human, and watch what changes. Not just in how men respond, but in how you feel about yourself. If you want, comment on one word, steady, and I'll make a part 2 for you. How to create that same calm magnetism with your voice and your boundaries, even when you're nervous. And if this helped you breathe a little easier, stay with me. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're learning a skill most women were never taught, how to be seen without abandoning yourself. That's not just attractive, that's freedom.